My name's Richard Olsen-Harbich. I'm the winemaker at Bedell Cellars in Cutchogue, New York, which is on the North Fork of Long Island. Growing grapes to make wine is never an easy task. We are fairly far north. We are really far out into the middle of the Atlantic on a peninsula, and it makes it a challenge to do what we do. But some of the best wines in the world are made in difficult circumstances, and that's what makes the wine so good. There is a struggle involved. I think our viticultural practices have evolved over the last 40 years to a point where we actually have the ability to grow wines completely in balance without that much intervention. We're now growing grapes with little to no irrigation, very little fertilization, very little outside inputs, and I think that is where we want to be. And it reflects the philosophy that I have, which is, again, to create wines that reflect the place of their origin. We're on the East End, so there's a lot of sea breeze, there's a lot of native and coastal plants that we have, and it's no coincidence that a lot of those show up in the wines. So my philosophy is to, it's not a non-interventionist. I don't believe that's really that possible to do a good job. But I think it's more of parenting. The world right now has 11 sustainable certification programs for wine. We're one of them. There's 7 on the West Coast. There's 3 others in Europe and South America and the Long Island Sustainable Wine Growers. So we're very proud of that fact. We started the process of putting this program together almost 10 years ago with some of the practices that were defined and put together in a book form on a statewide level. Almost 3 years ago now, we sat down with a group of like-minded growers to further flesh that out and come up with a program that everyone would be happy with. Sustainability has a lot to do with really taking care of the place that you are living in, being mindful of how you're farming, which is what wine growing is. So that's why we called it wine growing. Wine is really set apart from other alcoholic beverages, if we will, but because of farming, and that's really one of the things that sets it completely apart. And it's very important that the practices are safe, both to people, both to the environment, our neighbors, our community. Other programs that are certification programs tend to deal more with the agricultural side and nothing else. Ours tends to have a more holistic approach. The environment is important as well, but so are the people, and so is the fact that we need to be able to have a successful farm that's going to survive and hopefully be passed on to generations. Our goal, I think, for the program is to have the entire region become a certified sustainable, essentially, which would be great for the East End because it is such a sensitive area. And my feeling is that the wines are going to be better because of it, and that is a real bonus, actually.